It's right there, on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't remember the word. We've all been there. You're in the middle of a conversation. You're explaining something. It's going well. And then suddenly, you forget one important word. You freeze, you hesitate, you feel awkward, and your brain screams, "What's that word again?" But here's the good news. You can keep going, even if you forget the word, even if your sentence is incomplete. There are ways to express yourself in English without the exact word. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to stay calm, keep talking, and sound confident even when your vocabulary disappears. Let me give you an example. One time, I was trying to describe a blender, but in the middle of speaking, I totally forgot the word. So I said, "You know, that machine in the kitchen, it makes smoothies. You put fruit in it and it mixes everything?" The person smiled and said, "Oh, a blender." I laughed and said, "Yes, that." Conversation saved, stress avoided, no dictionary needed. That's the skill we're building today. Use simple descriptions. If you don't know the word, describe it. Instead of panicking, stay calm and explain what it does, what it looks like, or what it's used for. For example, can't remember thermometer? Say, that thing you use to check if you have a fever. Forgot charger? Say, the thing you plug your phone into when the battery is low. Can't say microwave? Say, the machine in the kitchen that heats up food quickly. These are called defining phrases, and they're lifesavers in conversation. Use the phrase, "It's like." This is another great way to explain something when the word disappears. You compare it to something else. Examples. It's like a small computer, but just for reading books. Like a Kindle. Hey, it's like yogurt, but it's frozen and sweet. Ice cream or frozen yogurt. It's like a jacket, but longer and thicker. Good for winter. The person listening will understand quickly, and maybe they'll even help you find the word. Ask for help naturally. Sometimes the best thing to do is just ask. But don't say, "I forgot the word, I'm so bad at English." Instead, say something like, "What's the word for," how do you say? "What do you call that thing that—" These are natural, everyday English expressions. Even native speakers use them. For example, what do you call that tool you will use to open cans? How do you say the place where you go to vote? What's the word for when something is both exciting and scary? People will understand and often feel happy to help. Use gestures and body language. When you don't have the word, your body can help. Point, mimic, gesture, trying to describe a hat, touch your head, explaining brushing teeth, pretend you're holding a toothbrush, forgot the word for driving, make a steering wheel motion. Body language fills the gaps in your vocabulary and makes your meaning clear. Use your first language. Carefully, if you're really stuck and you're speaking to someone who also speaks your language, you can use your native word and say, "What's the English word for native word?" We call it your language. Do you know the English word? But if they don't understand your language, it's better to stick with English and explain with descriptions. Practice forgetting on purpose. This may sound strange, but it works. Choose 5 common items or actions. Then pretend you've forgotten the word for each one. Now try to describe it. Let's try one together. Imagine you forgot the word umbrella. You might say, it's something you carry when it rains. It keeps you dry. It opens like a circle. You hold it above your head when the weather is bad. See? You didn't say the word, but the meaning is clear. Practicing this makes you better at real conversations. Don't panic, just pause. If you forget a word, don't freeze. Just pause for a second and say, "Give me a second. I'm trying to remember the word. It's on the tip of my tongue." These little pauses sound natural. They buy you time, and they show that you're thinking, not struggling. Even native speakers say this all the time. Forgetting words is normal. It's not a mistake. It's not failure. It's not a sign you're bad at English. It's just part of the process. So next time your brain goes blank, don't panic. Describe it. Compare it. Ask. Gesture. Keep talking. Because fluency isn't about remembering every word. It's about knowing how to keep going, even when you don't. Practice out loud. Try different styles, and soon it will feel completely natural. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you in the next lesson.